Support for This Is an Experiment is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. And Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the exclusive offer for you. That is 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code EXPERIMENT at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls.
The experience is the experiment.
Today's guest is a producer and an artist who hails from Chirac, Chicago, Illinois. He is one of my favorite people in the world, one of my closest friends, an old roommate, and one of the sickest musicians in the world. Please welcome today's guest, Nave.
My brother. Love you. How we doing?
Dude, everything is great now that you're here. I'm so happy.
Good to be back in LA, always.
So this is us starting off season fucking 3 of This Is an Experiment with the one and only Nave. And I couldn't think of a better person to start this with. This is so sick.
Premiered off right.
So this season, I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about the balance between creativity, between passion, and between business.
Absolutely.
Because I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with. They struggle with the fact that this is not just a creative endeavor. This is very much so a business endeavor as well.
It has to be approached that way. And I think we all learned a lot over the last couple of years that having some money to fuel projects is more essential than ever, right? I mean,
absolutely.
I'm part of a project where we had to take a step back when the pandemic hit. We were supposed to go play a bunch of shows, but things got strapped. We had to go hit the drawing board, figure some things out, put some money together, reallocate funds, rewrite a whole lot of new music.
You kind of have to
and just
change
approach
your direction
things in a different way, plan out like a 12-month process for you, write goals, and have things where you want to be, in 12 months ahead, 2 years ahead, 5 years ahead.
Well, we were just talking about kind of how when you spread yourself too thin, it's very hard to get so good at something that you become a master of it, that you become at least on the track to become a master.
For sure.
One of the things you said to me, you said, how many sports did you play growing up? And I said 3, maybe even more, maybe 4.
Yep.
And you said, did you play D1 for any of those? And I was like, no. He's like, maybe that's why. You have to.
It's got to be one of those things where you just figure out 1 to 2 things you are very good at and master those to the best of your ability. You see, like, the way I approach things when it comes to music, like, I know what I'm good at, and that's writing melodies, writing leads, and filling up a mix. I'm not the best at mixing drums. I'm not the best at mixing vocals. I'm not the best at a number of different things. And so you need to find different ways to connect with people and curate different environments to where you can find others that'll help you with those things. And along the lines of that, you find different methods yourself. Yeah.
Well, let's backtrack a little because I want to give a little bit of an explanation of who you are, and I think this is a perfect segue to it. You're from Chicago. You've been making music.
Southside suburbs, born and raised, baby.
You've been making music for a good portion of your life.
Yep.
And you started as EDM / hip hop producer.
Yep.
We're making both of those, and you're still in that realm, but now you have a project with Luke, who's also Jekyll and Hyde, and he was on season 1. And you guys are in a group called
Joystick.
Joystick, baby.
Yep.
And you guys have been cultivating this, building this for a few years now, really getting this to be something that is polished and an experience.
Absolutely. That was the biggest thing for us. I mean, we've seen numerous, if not hundreds, of these acts come and go like clockwork, and the biggest thing that we found is that none of them really had a story tying to their brand. And the biggest thing that we wanted to bring to the landscape is like a lore behind what Joystick is. It's not just, we're going to play dubstep and show a bunch of goofy visuals. There's going to be a real story, a real movie playing whenever we play. And the idea behind that, I could go into the whole lore and story of it, but essentially there's a likewise universe to ours, well far in the future. Energy is the main source. Energy is always going to be our main source, believe it or not. So there's these barons. They end up taking the energy from their city called New Haven, and the rest of the people are left to scavenge for themselves.
That's so cool.
So what happens is one day in a scavenge yard, player one comes upon this helmet, this relic, activates, shows them a whole new world of capabilities and what this energy can do and how they can save the future. And that's only the first song story so far, so I'll let the rest of the story play out from there.
That's so crazy. So you're pretty much creating a movie within your
Absolutely.
experience, or maybe a TV show is better.
We want to cultivate just like one of the coolest surreal environments that people can come and feel massively a part of.
That's so crazy. And how are you guys going to be launching that side of it? Or is that launched within the music, or is there going to be other experiences?
Essentially, it is launched within the music. And like I was saying, when you want to focus on that few platform thing, like for us, we're thinking we want to have the greatest visuals out of anyone. So where do you think for visuals? Instagram, obviously. If you go to a Joystick Instagram, you can see all of our stuff is 3D rendered to make kind of these super surreal cinematic environments come to life.
We're going to put that in the bio as well. So I urge you to go check out what they've started
Just
creating.
getting
It's
started,
crazy.
Man.
And I've so let me backtrack even a little bit more.
For sure.
We both moved out here to go to a school called Icon Collective, and that was
2016 already.
2016. And we were in a class together. That's how I met you. That's how I met Akash. That's how I met Luke. That's how I met Duke. That's how I met all these people that ended up becoming my roommates and my best friends over the past 6 years. We lived in a house with 9 people. We lived in a house with 5 people. We lived in a house with 6 people. Any number that you could imagine, we lived with that many people.
Yeah.
And it was crazy, and it was surreal, and it was disgusting, and it was amazing. And
5-6 studios in a house at a time.
All with subs going at the same time, playing different tempo music and different keys and different genres. It was the most incredible experience, and it was something that cultivated work ethic in all of us that was unlike anything I've ever.
To push each other.
Well, when you're in a house where you're around so many people who are doing what you do all the time, when you walk by a room and you see somebody making a song, you're like, that's sick. What the fuck am I doing? Why am I watching this? Why am I doing that?
Yeah, no, I hear that 100%. It's motivating. It's inspiring to always be leveling up with people right next to you, like literally a hallway away. And you can hear the progress throughout what they're making get better and better and better.
It was so great.
Throughout the last 5-6 years, like I couldn't even play you a song back then from like it'd be too embarrassing. Like
I just went through
now
some of
for
mine.
me, anyways. It's just
well, and think about
crazy.
it. Without that experience, there would be no Joystick.
Exactly.
That was where it came from. And the school Icon was
that's what I think we were so good at, just curating really good environments of really good people, really talented people.
And just we all were so similar in our love for making music
100%.
or our love for talking about it. And that was the thing. It wasn't just while we were creating that we were, expressing all these emotions and this creativity. It was while we were sitting down eating, while we were having a party. Everybody there was a musician. Everybody
Straight
there was
up.
a producer.
Yep.
We really created a community to survive in LA,
Needed to.
which is wild.
Yeah. Whenever someone needed help, we always had each other's backs, which was huge. We were always helping each other introduce people to people that we knew that might not have been in our own genre, but something that could help lend a hand in some other sort of aspect.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was just nonstop looking out for each other, and you need that. You need a team. You can go pretty far yourself, but you can go very, very far with a team.
We're at the point now where I have friends that I have to go back and remember which one of you introduced me, because I'm so close with them now as well. And they're people that you grew up with, or that Luke grew up with, or that Elle grew up with.
100%.
It's so crazy. So I wanted to have you on for this season and to start the season in particular, because you are very, very tech savvy. And I mean that not in the sense of being able to use a fucking computer. That's what we all do. But
Nope.
in the way you integrate your experience into technology and into using technology to grow your creativity, to grow your
It's a
your art.
necessity in this day and age. And I think just growing up being what's the word for it?
Immersed?
Immersed, yeah, that's a good one. Just nonstop immersed in all this technology. It just kind of led me to want to be able to learn it better and learn how to use it to my advantage for whatever I'm doing. I mean, you can see nowadays more companies are leading to text marketing. Nobody's reading emails anymore. So, I mean, there's just lots of different little nits and hacks that you got to find ways to boost your advantages. When it comes to ads, you got to find your proper avatar, your proper person that you want to push your stuff to. When it comes to having a clean Instagram, you want to find cool aesthetic people that can put that kind of thing together.
And who is there anybody that you are working with right now? And I'm doing this on purpose because there's one person that I know you're working with that is one of the best up and coming online digital creators, artists.
Absolutely. Our roommate Grant is, man, I don't even know the word to put it. Like, every single new thing he sends me every other day just blows my fucking mind.
He's
Sorry
unbelievable.
for swearing. I don't know if that's allowed on here.
Swear away.
But, like, dude, another thing with, like, looking into the progress of our music, like, seeing the progress of his visuals coming from just basic 2D graphics to now rendering whole 3D landscapes and real cinematic worlds that he just makes from his brain. Like,
it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Well,
like,
we've been so immersed in the music world that we've got to see that from people in our community, music-wise.
100%.
But having somebody who does something so fucking different than what we do and watching it from
behind
6 years
closed
ago.
doors too, most of the time.
He's
like,
as
I
good
do
as it
try and
gets.
peek my head in every now and then, and it's a lot of sessions in there.
I'm gonna
He works, he grinds.
I'm gonna add Grant's Instagram as well. You guys need to go see that.
Metatut Media.
And I would consider that him a vital part of Joystick.
He absolutely is. He's just as important as the music, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Because when you want to build
He's so
an
good.
audio, visual experience, visuals right there with it.
In that integration between different loves of an art or different two different things that you guys have separately mastered come together to create something that couldn't be done if you guys didn't have that connection. If he wasn't doing something with you guys, maybe he wouldn't have the music side that creates this full big process. And,
Very true.
And vice versa with you guys. It's unreal.
There's no accidents in this universe. I think people are brought together and energies attract for a very good reason.
Trust me, I live for the experiment, but there is one place in my life that I don't want to be an experiment, and that's when trimming my balls. Luckily, the Performance 4.0 package is here. Inside this package, you will find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, the Crop Reviver toner, the Performance boxer briefs, and a new travel bag to hold all of your new favorite things. I needed the Lawnmower 4.0 so much more than I ever realized. This thing has a ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents, all thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology, a flashlight so I can actually see where I'm trimming, and not only that, but this thing's waterproof, so I can trim just about anywhere. I love this thing, and I love the whole 4.0 package, from the Lawnmower, the Weed Whacker, the Crop Preserver, the Crop Reviver, and all the free gifts they threw in. Trust me, fellas, your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code EXPERIMENT at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code EXPERIMENT at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. So, your dad is very good at business.
Small business expert.
He's one of the most likable people I've ever met. But he's also one of the most well-spoken people.
Agreed.
So you clearly didn't fall far from the tree.
The thing is crazy too. My older brother speaks on stages all around the world, just like my pops does. They run a venture capital fund where we teach small businesses how to have better systems, better processing systems, better ad spend, better marketing, better everything in that sense. And
so cool.
It's been insane to see it over the last 17 years. They've been running courses, speaking all over the world. And I never had the passion to speak from stage. I had the passion to move people from stage. So
he
I definitely
security
didn't fall
guard.
far from the tree in that sense. You're right. But yeah, if you have a conversation with either of them, you're gonna be in for a good time.
Absolutely.
And they know everything about a lot of few things.
Well, they're good
lot of fun
people.
things.
Having a good
Absolutely.
person behind the talent is incredible, and it's just that much more validation towards what you do.
It's a necessity.
So, how are you implementing the stuff that you've learned from your brother and your father into your career as an artist, as a producer? And the reason I said composer, and the first time I did this when I fucked up, is because you and Luke are doing stuff for film and for video.
We do some video game syncs. We do some commercial syncs as well. So yeah, I guess composer isn't far from the tree. You're right again.
You got hair like Bach.
Facts.
I think. I don't know what his hair looked like, but I assumed it was long and flowy and had a cool beanie over it.
Those guys all had long hair, I'm pretty sure.
So,
I wonder what kind of products they were using.
I don't know, some cow shit from...
Legit, just like butter.
Butter. Put a little in your hair, put a little on your bread.
Some salt.
Some salt, why not? If it holds it back, I'll try it.
Why not?
Now that my hair feels like straw after I bleached it.
Definitely can't hurt. So from them, I think learning just like a branding aspect, like learning how to get your language across in the sense that you want to be speaking to your fans when you're putting stuff on all these pages. Like, when even though you want to become a massive conglomerate, a massive musician, a massive brand one day, you still have to put things in your own language. And what I tell even people sometimes is to subscribe to like a casino, because they will hit you every day with emails and texts in their own language, like catered to you, catered to your age, catered to your demographic.
That's so crazy.
It's actually insane. So, I mean, the best thing is just utilizing new technologies. There's plenty of different things for whatever you really want to do. YouTube University is a great friend. Fiverr is a great thing for anything you need to delegate. I think also just learning how to network and make connections and curate with top of the line people, you know.
A lot of this is who you're putting yourself in the room with.
Absolutely.
And who you're bringing into this workforce, this community that you're building. And like you were saying, delegating things is big.
It's huge.
You trying to go sit down and learn how to do the art that Grant does is going to
take me years.
It'll take you years, but it'll also hinder your ability to grow as a musician. Do other things,
absolutely.
And that's why when you look at a lot of the biggest pop writers in the world or pop songs, there's 6 writers, 7 writers on it, and 2 producers and the artist.
All day.
And you can talk all the shit you want, but having 6 of the greatest in a room, you're going to get things that one of the greatest can't do on their own. And people that are so practiced at songwriting or so practiced at producing or whatever it is, that's what they're going to be the most successful at in the room, or at least the greatest opportunity. And
it goes back to they focus on that one thing.
Yeah. Don't spread yourself too thin.
Can't.
And there's a difference between spreading yourself too thin and trying to figure out what is yours, what you're best at. And like,
absolutely. There's nothing wrong with trying out new things that you find an interest in.
It's necessary.
It is necessary.
You got to give yourself a trial run.
Every day. When you stop learning, you're done. I promise that. I absolutely promise that.
But also being able to go through and figure out all the different things, you know, like go through the process and see like, hey, I love producing for vocals, but I hate recording them. Maybe I'm a little bit better of a vocal producer than I am a vocal engineer.
Exactly.
I love mixing tracks, but I don't know how to master for my life. You're probably not going to be a mastering engineer. Maybe you're going to be a mixing engineer.
Exactly.
There's so many different directions it can go.
There's so many avenues people don't realize. Like, you don't have to be a touring musician making platinum records to make it in this game. You just have to find your niche and really crush it in there for a certain amount of time before you can get to that level that you really attain to at the beginning of it all.
I'd say that the bulk portion of the industry aren't the people you see. You
100%.
know, those are the people that funnel down to be the face.
Absolutely. All the people behind closed doors are the ones keeping the actual revolving doors going.
And that's, you know, that doesn't just mean the CEOs of the large labels. That doesn't just mean the large agents or this or that. That
means
That means the people that are sitting on Fiverr that are helping you master your tracks if you need, or the people that are
100%,
you know, going to work their job at Starbucks and then coming home and mixing your song or producing for you. Like the people that are willing to put the grind in elsewhere just so they can make sure they can show up for that day.
Absolutely. The people that are putting together sessions, people that are producing records in their basement still, that are getting platinum plaques or getting insane placements left and right, and people still don't know who they are. I mean, there's lots of people that necessarily don't want the shine, and that's a fine thing too.
Well, and there's also all the people that have the platinum plaques that can't afford rent.
Exactly.
You know,
that's
this industry,
insane topic.
This industry goes so many different directions, and you got to understand.
Quick,
yeah, and you got to figure out what you're best at and spread that out. You know, don't spread yourself too thin, but use your talents in as wide of a range as possible that'll allow you to make the income you need, whatever.
Absolutely.
But be good at something. Be really good at something. Don't be fine at 10 things.
Yep.
It doesn't work well. You
Can't
know?
preach that enough. You're totally right.
And
you can't wear multiple hats. And you can have a few multiple lanes for sure, but you can't wear 50 different hats and say you're an expert in any of them.
Absolutely. And, you know, if you're a producer and you get really good at your craft and you decide, hey, I would love to have some guitar on this, learn some chords. It's phenomenal. Learn how to play a little bit of piano. Learn how to play a little drums. Absolutely. YouTube has it all. But you just got to understand that the more time you're putting into different situations, the less time you're going to have really mastering a single thing.
To hone the other craft, for sure.
And I guess I'll sound like a broken record by the end of this because I believe in it so much, and I'm going to keep preaching it. But
you're totally not wrong. It's a necessity.
God, I love it. I love that we get the opportunity to fall in love with something so much. Or maybe love has nothing to do with it. Be addicted to something so much.
I think love and passion are very close, but not exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think you need one or the other. I think you need a balance. Absolutely. At times, but I also think some people do have one and don't need the other and still are very successful with it. I know a lot. I mean, we had one of my favorite people in the world, Aryeh, on the first season. I think it was the first season, and he's also been on the second season. And he was one of the first people to tell me, he's like, I don't always love this. I'm not doing this because I need to wake up every morning and play guitar or do this. He's like, I do it because it makes me happy. 100%. I'm good at it. And this is what I would rather be doing over a lot of other things. And I know I'm really great at this, but I don't have to be the person who wakes up every morning and fucking needs to go play an instrument. And
definitely.
Don't get me wrong. That's very much so me. I'm the most...
Yes, it is.
I'm the most...
It always has
romantic person when it comes to my instruments.
5 a.m. guitars were playing.
It's me, 100%. And it's not even practice for me. It's just me. That's what I do. I've drummed for way too long to not be the best drummer.
Absolutely.
And I'm not the best drummer. I figured that one out. I'm a great drummer. I'm not fucking Curtis Kelly, if you're watching this.
But no, exactly. You know that.
I loved.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that. And part of the industry is going to be told that, hey, that's not for you, or you're not the best at that, or no, or I don't like that. And all that shit has to go in one ear, get sifted, used if necessary, and then out the other fucking ear.
Straight up. Filtered for one or two small things and out the other. Gone.
Absolutely.
Bye.
God, man.
Speaking of filter, happy 420.
Happy 420. This is going to come out at the beginning of season 3, so it's going to be a few weeks, but we're enjoying 420 right now. We're also about to go.
It's been a good day. It's been a great day, actually.
It's going to be an amazing day, and we're going to go do another episode after this with Kid Cash, and that'll be far more 420 friendly. This is very 420 friendly. Whatever. Either way.
I can't believe he dabs now. That's crazy to me. Crazy guy.
Sorry, Akash. I guess you're going to hear that one.
Crazy guy.
So tell me what you're working on right now and what we can expect.
From Nave, you can expect about 1 to 2 house tunes every single month. We are cooking up nonstop.
We're about to make
noticed, Beats by Nave, Instagram, Twitter. Go hit it. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, all the good ones, you know. Don't have a release date for my next track actually yet because I'm picking between 2 of them.
For Nave?
It will be sometime next month. It will be early next month. That is a promise.
Early next month.
Before this podcast probably even airs.
That's actually true. This is probably not going to come out for a month almost.
Exactly.
But it'll be a sweet way to start season 3. And the fact that I'm starting season 3 is crazy to me and doesn't make sense to my head. And on most episodes, I wouldn't bring up that side of it. But like I said, we've lived together for so long and been so close
100%.
for so long that it's cool to
So
be
wild to see this come to fruition. Actually, I'm tripping out.
It's weird because it's taken me a minute to sit down and realize that I am not going to be just a producer for my whole life, and I was really scared of spreading myself too thin.
Yep.
And then I realized that this is really the place that I'm going to be the most able to help people and do what I do best. And having somebody on who's seen
When you can
me,
work and be creative in the same space, that's one of the biggest blessings in the world.
absolutely. And we'll have a lot more episodes coming out soon where people can see the whole studio being used and
Definitely.
some
They need to
things I
see
can't
it.
talk about. It's going to be cool.
Need to see some live sessions in here soon.
They'll be here soon. Well, Evan, Nave, Joystick player 2. I love you. I appreciate you
We gotta
more.
re-record that.
Are you player 1?
I'm player 2. We switched it.
So yeah, no, he's player 2. What he said earlier is player 2.
We actually should be talking about Joystick, but that's okay.
Sorry, Luke.
You can't see my face. This
Nope.
is all anonymous. It's gonna be blurred out.
You have no idea. I love you, dude. Thank you so much for coming
I
on.
love you. Appreciate you for having me. It's been
We're
a
going
fun
to go
time.
enjoy 420 and then do another podcast and hang out and make some music. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, and to everybody listening.
This has absolutely been an experiment. Thank you. I love you.
I love you. Bye, everybody.
The experience is the experiment.